Phew! After writing the script for this video, I literally feel a sense of satisfaction. But nowhere does the lack of a theoretical foundation feel as sharp as it does in the ever-changing and whimsical world of fashion. Let's put our thoughts in order and figure out why you might not want to wear oversized clothing, but you absolutely can't combine items of a single style in one outfit. And yes, you will finally be able to explain to your friend why you don't like her hidden platform shoes. There's also a good chance you'll convince her that you're really not advising her to ditch the bandage dress out of jealousy and never wear it again. My grandmother used to say that it's better to be a step behind fashion than a step ahead. It sounds clever, of course, but like most flashy phrases from the wise people category, it's full of bravado and light on truth. Before deciding where it's better to be, behind or ahead, it's worth understanding that fashion is not some kind of moving monolithic force that is, first of all, clearly defined in space, and second, crushes everyone who hasn't run ahead or wisely retreated back into its deep trail. In my opinion, fashion can be divided into at least 3 major layers, or waves. The biggest wave can last up to 10 years or more, and strictly speaking, it can be called relevance. You can't ignore relevance and still look good. This is exactly where you can't afford to be behind fashion, or you risk finding yourself in the company of heavily made-up ladies in overly tanned, deeply cut satin dresses. Long-standing and still reigning trends include democracy, naturalness, and of course, comfort. This leads to the new rules. First, don't wear jewelry in matching sets. Second, don't wear accessories tone on tone, the notorious matching bags and shoes or nail polish on your hands identical to your toes. Third, always mix expensive and affordable wardrobe items. For example, wear an expensive necklace during the day with a white shirt and jeans, not only with an evening gown and elbow-length gloves. Fourth, mix styles. For instance, wear a delicate floral dress with a leather jacket and chunky boots, pair heels with a hoodie, wear a tracksuit with a classic coat, or a suit with sneakers or a t-shirt. Fifth, mix textures. Pair affordable denim with elite satin, rough wool with delicate lace, cotton with sequins. Sixth, avoid over-the-top sexuality. Anything that clings to you like a latex glove is time to forget. How can there be democracy and comfort when half of the population is forced to hobble on stilettos, constantly pulling up plunging necklines and yanking skirts that ride up? This brings us to a powerful trend towards gender-neutral models. The former bastions of masculinity and femininity, like skirts and shirts, have become unisex. It's because of this wave that we are constantly advised not to overdo it with excessive effort and formality. A modern woman who looks up to date is not engaged in an exhausting battle for her appearance. After all, she has other things to do. Just think back in the days of Golden Hollywood and Grace Kelly. A woman in America and most of Europe couldn't open a bank account without her husband's written permission. So you can imagine what kind of women and circumstances Christian Dior and Hubert de Givenchy were creating for. And you're talking about forgotten femininity. Femininity hasn't been forgotten, but helplessness in a man's world, where a woman's only weapon was her appearance, designed to provoke physical desire, has been left behind. Next, we have the mid-size wave. These are trends that have shifted from being cutting-edge to long-lasting, but they can be entirely contradictory to one another, unlike those that make up the big wave. Let me explain with an example. When asked whether to wear matching earrings, a ring, and a pendant, the answer is unequivocally no. There's no alternative view. But with oversized clothing, you can wear it if you want, or not. Flat shoes are the same. Yes, flats have been in style for a while now. You can wear loafers, Oxfords, or Birkenstocks, or you can wear heels or Victorian-style shoes, which were heavily featured in recent fashion shows. Sportswear, sweatpants, sneakers, hoodies, is indispensable and becoming more and more common. But if you don't want to wear it, you don't have to. Freak chic, reasonable layering, borderline opulence, vintage, self-irony, socks with sandals, all of these aren't just designers gone mad who wears this, but a global push towards individuality, opposing imposed standards. Economically, the world is no longer a massive factory where everyone wears uniforms and punches in at the sound of a whistle. It's breaking into small pieces again, where everyone can work for themselves without reporting to a boss and dress however they like. Urban jungle fashion. The weariness from glamour and high fashion has found expression in the rise of the lowest urban classes to the runways. The pale, blue-blooded aristocrats of fashion, anemic from countless dynastic unions, were suddenly invigorated by a rush of fresh, hot, red blood. This new flow comes from the culture of modern outskirts, ghettos, poverty, and teenage maximalism. And we are surprised to see the creations of Gosha Rubchinsky, Kanye West, and that yellow DHL t-shirt from Vetements that captured our imagination for €200 or dollars. We've already discussed what's happening on the runways. It's somewhat alarming, but just look at the photos of how bold yet real people incorporate these trends. No one's forcing you to wrap yourself head to toe in sequins and velvet or wear a tattered coat if you don't want to. Still, knowing about these trends is essential, if only to avoid saying something like, "Only bums wear sneakers with coats" in an enlightened company. And finally, we reach the most fickle category, the small waves. These are the ultra-trendy items that you can buy or not, depending on your mood and budget. If your budget is tight, these are exactly the items you can and should skip without regret. Because next season, people will shudder at the thought of them. Where are gladiator sandals now? That's right, nowhere. In boxes for sale or donation. Replacing them, only to possibly disappear just as quickly, are lace-up ballet flats, ballerina skirts, dresses that look exactly like silk nightgowns with lace. If they're without lace, I think they'll last longer, as you can layer them over a sweater, jeans, or a white t-shirt. We'll see more creative ways to wear them. Over-the-knee boots might be on their way out, but not this fall. Maybe next year. Loafers and slippers with fur. By the way, you can try to predict whether a small wave will have longevity, but there's no guarantee. However, your chances increase by comparing it to the big wave. For instance, the shirt dress we'll all be wearing this summer. Is it democratic? Yes. Comfortable? Yes. Natural? Absolutely. So I, for one, will definitely buy it and hope to wear it next summer too. Initially, I wanted to write about another conditional layer under the code name The Provinces. But then I realized that all this provincial fashion comes from a misunderstanding of the significance of the waves described above and a confusion of concepts. For example, platform hoof shoes, the classic Louboutins and Yves Saint Laurents, are a typical small wave, but people still wear them. It's already funny, but they're still holding on. Same with platform sneakers, and that beanie with a veil. And in the space formed by the confusion of concepts, my favorite magazine nonsense also grazes. I might write about that separately one day. For now, just a couple of obvious thoughts. The hottest color of the season is indigo. Green is trending. White wins. Back to black. For heaven's sake, how can a color be in fashion? How can one color be fashionable and another not? In colors, what's fashionable is what suits you, and what goes well together. Except maybe neon shades. Yes, they're out of fashion, but they never looked good on anyone anyway, let's be honest. And every year, I kid you not, every year magazines say that floral prints are back in fashion. In the summer. So you urgently need to buy a light floral dress. Back, huh? Long time no see. Lastly, about Victoria Beckham. On the one hand, she's very classic, which is what most people crave, but on the other, she's completely modern. I tried to find a photo of Victoria in an imperfect outfit, and believe it or not, I couldn't find one. Her example shows us that you can apply all modern trends with great skill, without turning into a city eccentric, though we're moving towards that at breakneck speed, where soon an outfit without a touch of madness will be considered outdated, yet without sighing over the archival looks of Jackie Kennedy and Audrey Hepburn.